Hello and welcome back to the Druidic Stormcloud channel, where I'll be playing Final Fantasy XIV once again. I hope you are ready for this, and I hope you are going to enjoy it, but at the same time I know that I'm going to be queued up for a while. So I will drop a stream marker into the timeline when that is done with. So, VOD watchers, feel free to skip ahead to when that stream marker is. That will be when I am queued up and ready for the Leviathan fight. And without further ado, let's go ahead and switch over the scene. There we go. And let's go ahead and queue up. As a white mage, we are a healer. Not clear. Join. Alright, so in the meantime, I have plenty of time and can chat. So, anyone that wants to drop in can do so. Let's go ahead and randomize our minion as well. Ooh. Very fitting for a druid. Honestly, oh, we have a DPS queued up. That is good. I'm going to go ahead and sell the coin ones that I got. But, I mean, having one DPS involved is the exact same situation we had last time. I am sorry about that. But yeah, the singular DPS is the same situation we had last time. No clue whether or not this will go better. I hope it does. I'm thinking of going a bit longer today. Not just on waiting for the queue, since I plan to drop a stream marker in anyway. But also in that I am planning to stream for a bit longer. Just a little bit, not a lot. I at least want to get this quest line out of the way before anything else. Then, well, I do have a quest I need to do for the serpents to raise my rank. Something I have put off for a while. All things considered, I do enjoy this game. And maybe with the soon to change stream time, I won't have to wait as long in queues. The downside is that I imagine it will be a fair bit more congested at that point. But if it's going to get congested because of that, then it's going to get congested because of that, and there's no changing it. Only work with it, not against it. Wait. I can take maelstrom levies to get... This is new. Raising my rank after this is going to be easier. All things considered, there are a lot of things that you would want to improve, but that's going to be the case with any MMO. Heck, with any video game. That's why you should never trust 10 out of 10 ratings. You also shouldn't trust the 1 out of 10 ratings all the time. They could be people that are being paid by rival companies to crash the ratings. It's the ones in the middle you want to look for. The 3s and 2s for bad opinions, the 7 and 8s mainly for better opinions. We're raising the average wait time again. All I can say is Oblivion for its time wasn't too bad a game. And I will stand by that statement. Alright, let's mend up my gear, I guess. Yeah, I was leveling up my rogue class for a while. I have it almost where I can go through the quest lines for that. Oh, here we go. This is faster than I thought it would be. Come on, other tank. I'm ready to slap regen on both of you and cast Medica 2 when needed. It's not a light party, it's a full party. The primal of water, of the ocean, Leviathan. Here we go. Let's go. Oh boy. Where is that? Probably over here. And I got KO'd. definitely a shorter time frame of what I can do. This thing probably... is why we failed last time. How are we supposed to do this? The sound change. This isn't good. We're near the end. And we did it this time. I guess someone needed to be by the elemental converter at all times. They all left before I could give accommodation. But that was the fight with Leviathan. Let's go ahead and finish up this quest. Over at the dry docks. Or not. Oh, we're going back to Limsa Lamosa. Okay. Knowing the urgency of your business, I thought it best to refrain from making conversation during your past few visits. But today, I'll permit myself a few words. I feel truly privileged to have had the honor of admitting a hero such as you. You're an inspiration to us all, madam. And, on that note, the Admiral awaits you in the command room.
We Lominsons are sworn to strive, till sea swallows all. And swallow all it would have, had Leviathan prevailed. That we still strive now, we owe in no small part to you. Not for the first time, you have delivered Limsa Lominsa from the wrath of a primal. Never has our nation known a stouter ally. On behalf of my people, I give you my humblest thanks. 'Tis meet that I give thanks to old Mistbeard, too, for his fine solution. Whatever else he may have been, 'tis clear he was a resourceful soul. Would that I had a man like him in my service.
Before I set foot in these lands, I had no inkling that the people of Eorzea contended with such mighty foes. Suffice it to say, their existence came as something of a shock, as did the idea that they could be defeated. This experience has served to remind me of the vastness of the world, and the boundless potential of man. Though I am but a refugee in this realm, I would fain be of use to you in your fight. Know that I am tutored in one of the foremost combat arts of the Far East. It may seem outlandish to the Eorzean eye, but should any of your people care to learn, I would be pleased to initiate them.
Oh.
And I will see to it that they are grateful. I have no doubt that your knowledge and skills will serve us well. Besides, your art is not so outlandish as you think. Would you not agree, Master Thancred?
Naught escapes your searching eye, Admiral. Few are privy to this information, but Limsa Lominsa is home to a certain secret fraternity. Its members are trained in a form of combat not unlike your own. By my judgment, it should not be beyond such individuals to adapt to the techniques I witnessed you employing with such admirable deftness.
And so Rogue advances to ninjas.
I am heartened to hear this. I too noted a kinship between your style and mine own, though it seemed to me that you fought differently in the beginning.
I suppose I did. What can I say? I'm a man of many talents.
Though you may labor to believe it, Thancred was once something of a scoundrel who fraternized with the criminal class in these parts.
Yestola! You jest, of course.
But for a chance encounter with Alphino's grandsire, he might never have left Limsa Lominsa, or received an education in Sharlayan, or taken up his post in Uldar, which is where he trained in the blade, lest you wonder.
Vinfilia, please!
So a gladiator and a rogue, huh?
It would seem there is more to you than meets the eye, Master Thancred.
Lady Yugiri, I am told that you and yours came to Eorzea seeking permanent resettlement, and that many domins have since been engaged as frontier hands at Revenant's Toll. Morderna is many things, but a place of refuge it is not. Know that I would like nothing better than to furnish your people with a new home here on Lominsan soil. Alas, racked by instability as we are, our nation is in no fit state to take you in. Yet I'll not have it said that we turned a blind eye to your suffering. Until such time as we can do more, I pledge to send provisions.
We are in your debt, Admiral. I realize that it scarce qualifies as repayment, but if it please you, I shall set about sharing my martial knowledge with your people at once.
You wished a word in private.
The better not to spoil the festive mood. History repeats itself, Admiral. As the kobolds did before them, the Sahagin resorted to summoning their god over a territorial feud. They acted in self-preservation. It may be that the Sahagin initiated this particular clash, but how it begins does not interest me so much as how it ends.
I have not forgotten our conversation, Yashtola. I am aware that man bears part of the blame for the Primal's existence. Nor am I ignorant of the Sahagins' reason for acting. They sought to secure a place to breed and multiply that their kind might survive. Self-preservation, as you say. But we have as much right to live and thrive as they. If our own survival is threatened, are we to lay down our arms and welcome oblivion? Nay.
And so you kill, that you might live. Yet if living is a right, then that right belongs to all peoples, be they men or beastmen.
I'll not deny your reasoning, but when a storm gathers, it falls to me to see my people safely through it. That is my duty, and I shall do it.
As must we all, Admiral. Stay the course, then. But know that it will lead to no good end.
Man has ever put himself first and foremost. To justify his actions, he clads himself in the armor of righteousness, though it be a fancy of his own making. In this, mayhap the Garleans and we Domans are not so different.
Eorzea has become as a raging sea. If we are to keep our heads above the waves, we cannot scruple to drown the man next to us. When hopes of coexistence founder, strength must determine who has the greater right to live.
Oh, so my next quest is from you. Oh. was informed me of the arrangement. I have in my keepings a letter of introduction for Lady Yugiri. To the south stands a gate leading to a pier for small fishing vessels. Look for an inconspicuous Julian man there, and present the letter to him. He serves as a gatekeeper of sorts. Now, before you go, I am obliged to remind you that the members of the fraternity to which you would be introduced abide in the shadows of Limousin society. They value their independence more highly than the pirates and are united by a bond stronger than mithril. To wit, they are invariably wary of new faces. Though it be penned by the Admiral herself, mere words on parchment will get you only so far into their confidence. You must work for every ounce of trust they place in you. But here's the letter. Go to the aforementioned place, show it to the aforementioned man, and good luck. There you are. Got business with me, venturer? Yeah, here. So, you're the woman the Admiral sent word of. I was hoping I might catch a glimpse of Thancred, too. Been a while since I saw his shading green. But with all the doe-eyed ventures about, expect he's got his hands full. And you must be the Fire Easterner. What Merib says wants to train with us. Welcome to Limsa, my lady. I'm Yugiri of Duma. 'Tis an honor to make your acquaintance. I must confess, when I first learned of your organization, I had certain preconceptions as to the nature of your membership. It would seem I was mistaken. You're not the first person to say that, lass. Limsa's a city of pirates, to be sure. And pirates don't give two farts about keeping a spotless reputation. They hardly need a secret society to do their dirty work. Might be as my people and I keep to the shadows, but we've got nothing to be ashamed of. It's simply better for business that we remain unseen. And so you have developed techniques suited to this purpose. I see. Know that the practitioners of my art, too, are denizens of shadow. 'Tis in stealth that our strength lies. There is much we might learn from one another, I think. Then what in the seven O's are we waiting for? If you'd come with us, you Gary of Doom, what's it? We can get acquainted in more private surroundings. That didn't come out right, did it? Lady Kira, I shall remain with these people for a time, that I might study their ways. Though I am loath to be separated from my countrymen, I take solace in the knowledge that they are the best. Sorry, wake up. That they are in the best of hands. You have been a true friend to us humans. No words would suffice to express my gratitude. Ere long, I hope to begin imparting my martial knowledge to the people of Eorzea. When that time comes, it would be my honor to welcome you as a student. Oh, knocked earring, Golome earring, I guess we'll go with the knocked. Much in war has occurred since first I beheld Eorzea from the galleon's deck. Suffice to say, I did not envision being invited to play a part in your noble struggle. But forgive me, I have kept you overlong. Doubtless you have pressing business of your own. Rest assured that I no longer require an escort in this land. When next you meet Lady Minfilia, pray relay to her my humblest thanks. Would that I could do so in person, but I needs fulfill my promise to the Admiral. Till we meet again, Warrior of Light. Okay, now Mordona. What's it gonna cost to... Oh, East Shroud. No, that's not it. Oh, 300 is fine. That's for a hard dungeon. Speaking of, I am getting a full journal.
I have been reflecting upon the events which took place during our visit to Vilbrand. If you have a moment, I would share my conclusions with you. Please, bear with me. When the Sahagin Elder summoned Leviathan, he employed the power we have come to know as the Echo. Though I cannot well explain the how of it, it would seem he became immortal in so doing. When the Admiral subsequently slew him, his spirit emerged from his lifeless flesh, a consciousness shorn of physical form. Thus transfigured, he took up residence in the body of his minion with the ease of a man donning a favorite glove. Long have I known that the echo allows one to pass through the walls of a man's soul. But never did I imagine that it could free us from our own flesh, nor less that our souls could then occupy the next corporeal vessel to take our fancy. It was of this that Elidibus spoke, an existence which knows neither cessation nor oblivion. And yet, though the Sahagin had mastered his gift and thereby become immortal, he was by no means invulnerable. As we both bore witness, he was ultimately absorbed into Leviathen. And the import of this observation? If the Ascians' mode of existence is indeed the same, it can be inferred that they too are not invulnerable, that they can be destroyed. There exists a legend which tells of souls who are reborn upon the cusp of each umbral calamity, that they might stay the encroaching darkness. To most, it is but a fairy tale, yet recent events have given me cause to wonder, could the legend in fact refer to the echo? Much and more yet remains unknown, but I am confident that all will become clear in time. For the present, however, what matters is that the key to defeating the Ascians may at last be within sight. With Urianger's aid, it is my hope that I shall fathom this matter ere long. Oh, I was just about to send for you, my friend. Is Artemis?
Grave tidings from the Sharlayan motherland, my lady. It doth concern our distant allies, the students of Baldessian.
What of them?
My lady, the Isle of Val, which for many years hath been the Order's home, is no more.
No more? Whatever do you mean?
I relate only that which hath been conveyed unto me by our agents. An etheric wave of the highest magnitude was recorded in the region. Soon thereafter, 'twas observed that the isle had ceased to be. 'Tis postulated that a magic was evoked, like in power to Ultima.
12 preserve.
If there are no other matters, I move that today's meeting be adjourned.
It is done, my lord. Forgive my impertinence, my lord, but these orders, I am uncertain as to what end they serve.
Revolution.
our friends, the very isle itself, everyone and everything. No, it avails us not to speculate. Ermengar will send word if there are any developments. Until such time as he does, we will remain firmly focused on that which is within our power to change. With that in mind, I would speak of a different matter, one closer to home. It concerns etheric fluctuation which we had previously attributed to good King Mughal the 12th. Oh no. By the way, I had said oh no several times throughout those cutscenes and I had my mic muted. That the king is no more is a blessing for which we have you to thank. Yet all is not well in the Twelveswood. Our last readings reveal an ongoing etheric disturbance of considerable magnitude. They may even suggest the presence of a primal. Needless to say, the mere possibility warrants immediate investigation, and I would have you... Celia, I do not wish to interrupt, but we have a problem. What manner of problem? A band of refugees, hailing from Ul'dah this time, are come to Revenant's Toll, seeking asylum. It would seem they expect us to afford them the same treatment we gave the Domans. At present, they are in the 7th haven, awaiting a formal response. Let's see. Mayhap this was to be expected. I shall meet with them at once. Celia, as you know full well, we haven't the resources to accommodate many more people. Consider what will happen if you do this. Word will spread and more will follow. Your opinion is duly noted, but I will hear their suit. Kiara, I should be grateful for your presence at this meeting. I mean, it was to be expected, wasn't it? Open your doors for one and many will follow. That's just how things go. There's someone here that has a quest I can't accept yet. The Keepsake. Oh, because I haven't done Empedor Keep? I feel like that's a new name. And that one's for a Circle of the Hand at a high level. But without further ado, let's mount. This won't cause any misunderstandings. Wait. Oh. I apologize for keeping you waiting. My name is Minfilia, and I lead the Scions of the Seventh Dawn. 12 be praised. It is you! We're ready and willing to work, same as the Domans. Just give us a task and we'll see it done. Pray, calm yourself. I appreciate your enthusiasm, but I know not of your situation. Beg your pardon, Incident. I ain't so good with words. We've been living off the scraps of Ul'dah for years now, trying to piece together a life to replace the one what got taken, or what got took. They say there's work, but there's not for an honest man. Not as wouldn't sully his soul sooner than his palms, any road. The flames do what they can for us, of course, but it ain't near enough. And it's only getting worse. When the calamity brought us to our knees, those rich bastards in the city didn't help us up. They climbed on our backs. I don't pretend to be clever, but even I can see what's coming. I knew we had to run. The only question was where. And then it came to me, Revenant's Toll. I mean, you took them foreigners in, didn't you? So you'd surely do the same for us. I fear the situation is rather more complicated. While it is true that we accepted the Doman's petition for aid, that decision was the product of extraordinary circumstances. I sympathize deeply with your plight, but pray understand that it is not possible for an organization of our means to aid all who have been affected by the calamity. And so it is with great regret that I must deny your request. But we've nowhere else to go. You're turning your back on us? If I might have a word. Tataru, is aught amiss? Ill tidings from Ul'dah, my lady. Elphanod has been wounded. What? What? How? Is it serious? I cannot say for certain, but I fear it might be. According to the flames, the refugees started a riot. They went wild, apparently, lashing out at any and everyone. That can't be right. Why would they? They must have been provoked. The demonstration was only meant to be peaceful. 7 L's. Now the Blades have an excuse. They'll round us up and kill anyone who tries to resist. Incident, please, if you won't help us build a new life, at least help us keep the ones we've got. My lady, we are not ones to stand idly by and watch innocents suffer. However, until we know more of the circumstances surrounding this riot, I am not certain what aid, if any, we can provide. If the authorities determine that the refugees attacked without provocation, then those responsible will have to answer for their actions. How can you be so blind? Find Elphanod and quickly. If he is in danger, or worse, I would have you and none other by his side. Thank you. Pray do not concern yourself with the matter we were discussing earlier. Ida and Poplamia will see to it. Elphanod is being treated at the Hourglass. Hurry, Kiara. Well, This is very bad. Ah, buddy. My dog just went to sleep right now. A whirl of time. Whirl of a time. What? What does that provide? Is that just hard mode for the dungeon? Yeah. Well, I picked it up. I don't know if I'll ever get to it, mind you, but... yeah, it's in the actual city of Ul'dah. Okay. Alright, and we're on the steps of Nald, which is exactly where we need to be. Okay, I'll scratch your belly. My dog isn't spoiled at all. Oh, that's how you get the Viper, and you need to be level 80 for it. Okay. And you move away, huh?
Come, you must have gathered by now that Tataru is given to exaggeration. As you can see, I am quite well. Ul'dah, on the other hand, is not. This riot was anything but an isolated incident. There is a restlessness in the air. Tensions long simmering are at last threatening to boil over. Ul'dah is a nation infamous for the great disparity between the wealthy and the poor. The majority of the populace accepts this state of affairs because they believe that every man bears responsibility for his own lot in life. To an Ul'dan, money is the foremost, and some would say the only measure of a man's worth. Small wonder that the wealthiest wield the greatest influence. So where do the refugees fit into this social hierarchy? What place is there for those who fled Alamigo and the destruction of the Calamity? Plainly, there is none. They have no wealth, no power, and no worth. To the Ul'dan way of thinking, they may as well not exist. Choosing to ignore their existence, however, is patently not an option. General Rauban and the Sultana understand this, which is why they ordered the Immortal Flames to provide the refugees aid and succor. Yet none would dispute that the expenses incurred by this policy grow by the day, with no end in sight. This has prompted more and more Uldans to question their obligation to aid these worthless wanderers. While more and more refugees have come to resent their treatment at the hands of the sneering citizenry. The manner of Lord Lolorito's refusal to grant the Dolmens asylum bespoke a disdain for all refugees, an attitude shared by the rest of the monetarists. And you may be sure they make no effort to conceal their opinions.
That is true. And, well, this is something that should have been seen coming.
It was only a matter of time before the refugees united in protest. Nor is it any surprise that some among them would ultimately resort to violence. That the Immortal Flames should choose this of all occasions to engage in joint training exercises with the other Grand Companies. By the time they return, the situation may well have deteriorated beyond mending.
Almost as if someone planned it, huh? Main focus magic build. Not earring, glow, or ring. Oh, the Oriole ring seems best because skill speed means you can hit more often with your skills. As I told you before, it was all but inevitable that an incident like this, or of this kind, would eventually occur, giving the rising tension within the Sultanate. Nevertheless, I have reason to believe that this particular riot may not have begun spontaneously. Have I piqued your curiosity? Good. Then you will accompany me to the Hall of Flames. I would hear what General Raban has to say upon the matter. That's an interesting emote. Now is not a good time, Kira. My hands are full dealing with the refugees. Precisely the matter we wish to discuss, General. Elfinod, back on your feet already? You may credit my swift recovery to your surgeons, basically, doctors, medics. My memories of the riot are still somewhat muddled. I trust you managed to regain control of the situation? Not entirely. We secured the city soon enough, but not before the unrest had spread to the surrounding territories. Pockets of resistance remain throughout Thalen. We have sent forces, or what forces we can spare, to root out the last of the belligerents, but progress is slow. They are damnably elusive. I can well imagine, given that the majority of refugees live outside the walls, it stands to reason that they would know the lay of the land. What I do not understand is how they came to be so well prepared. Before my little accident, I observed that several of the refugees were well armed, and not with butcher's knives or pitchforks, but with martial weaponry. I need hardly add that such equipment is costly. None can deny that the tensions between Ul'dan citizenry and the refugee population have increased since the Domans were turned away. But would that motivate a starving man to purchase arms in lieu of food? I think not. And what of those who have not even a single gil to spend, who could not survive without the aid provided by the immortal flames? Surely they would sooner sell a weapon than bring it to bear against their benefactors. Come to the point. Very well. My point, General, is that this powder keg of discontent was not set alight by chance. These events were deliberately set in motion, and now order must be restored. That's my first duty. Until it is done, any investigation can wait. I do not have time to discuss this. My scouts will be returning anon. The General is no fool. He keeps his own counsel, and with good cause. Were he to claim, without necessary proof, that these riots were instigated by outside forces, the monitors would accuse him of attempting to shirk responsibility. After all, he and the Sultana have been the most outspoken proponents of refugee aid. Regardless, they will face harsh criticism in the days ahead. Our allies may stumble upon the truth in time, but I have far more faith in your abilities, Kiara. Therefore, I propose we conduct our own investigation, independent of the authorities. To that end, I would have you make inquiries with the settlements suspected of harboring belligerents. Commander Swift will know which they are. You may balk at a request for such information, but I have no doubt that you can persuade him with your silver tongue. I, meanwhile, shall seek answers in my own way, after which we can regroup and share our findings. Well then, shall we? You look as though you have something to say, Kiara. Do you? What you ask is no simple favor. Were such information to fall into the wrong hands, the lives of countless soldiers would be at risk. Even so, there is wisdom in your words. An able individual may be better suited to this task than a regiment. Very well, the Brass Blades have reported suspicious activity in the vicinity of Lost Hope. It may be unrelated to recent events, but we doubt it. I suggest you begin by speaking to the Blades posted there. Lost Hope. And what brings you here, adventurer? A search for refugees? Well, then you've come to the right place. Ah, you mean those refugees. Oh no, you won't find them here. Most of the people of Lost Hope have come to accept their situation and are content to pass their days in peace and quiet. Outsiders have trouble understanding that. Like that merchant who passed through recently. Gregarious fellow, but awfully opinionated. Can't say I was sad to see him go. A friend of the Sultanate, are we? I take it this means someone has read my report. The refugees who left with the merchant have yet to return, and I'm increasingly concerned that Zazawaka's suspicions were correct. You haven't the foggiest what I'm talking about, do you? Never mind, speak with Zazawaka. He will explain everything. Don't hurt me. I'm not one of them. Wait, I know your face. Are you not the woman from the Church of Saint Adamalmanda? 1,000 pardons, my friend. I mistook you for one of the thugs who have been tormenting us. If Leofric bid you speak with me, then I take it you've agreed to help. Well, be praised for that, because we haven't a moment to waste. Everyone knows the flames are on the march. The others have fallen under that fanatic's spell, but not I. Promises of revolution and retribution, of holding the ruling class to account, and taking that which is owed? Huh, a childish fantasy. I did everything I could to dissuade the others from leaving, but few would heed my words. Now that one of our idealists has returned, however, the madness of the merchant's plan is plain for all to see. Look behind yonder tent, and you will understand why. Even now he babbles incoherently, so traumatized is he by the bloodshed he witnessed. Try as I might, I can make little sense of his words beyond the fact that he was not alone in surviving. Yet I've no doubt that merchant will lead the remainder to their doom. I beg you, find them before he does. So the terrified refugee, you. Well, what are you doing? Don't draw. Don't draw, don't draw, don't draw, don't draw. Why didn't you run away with me? We could have escaped together. Then you'd be here with me. Be here to soothe me. Why did you have to? Okay, soothe. Why did I have that emote? Who are you? What do you want? It's true. It's true. I followed the merchant, and may the gods strike me down for my folly. What they will not give, you must take, he said. When we asked how, he revealed a cache of weapons he had brought from, and implored us to seize control of our fates. I thought about running then and there, but the others were so excited. He split us into two groups, sent us off on our own. But when the flames found us, we didn't know what to do. Our leader tried to parley with theirs, but then they started arguing, and then fighting, and then everyone was fighting, and the flames were shouting to give no quarter, and... Oh gods, the other group. They're still out there. If we don't stop them, they'll be massacred like mine was. Okay, we have 2 rings here. My main role is healer, so the Daystar ring. The other refugees are hiding in the caves south of Lost Hope, but to approach them would be fruitless. They would sooner call us agents of the Sultanate and try to kill us than listen to reason. Why, the twins might even deign to do the deed themselves. Pox on all bloody sellswords. They were supposed to train us to fight, but the ones he sent with us vanished during the struggles. Oh, if only I had never listened to that merchant's ridiculous claims. He said our cause was righteous, that the gods would never suffer us to be defeated. Though if they were forced to confront reality, that's it. Challenge the twins to combat and show my brethren that their strongest warriors are no match for one woman. Mayhap then they will agree to lay down their arms and renounce this plot. Seven Hells, they found us! Everyone grab your gear and make for the rendezvous point. So that's your game, is it? Sorry to disappoint you, lass, but we're more than willing to kill you ourselves. Beat him like it was nothing. The Almighty, what are we gonna do now? On the behemoth. Returned. Did you find my brethren? What of the twins? What happened? I see. Well, you had no choice. Better that a handful of them take a beating from you than the lot get butchered by the flames. Tell me, what did the merchant have to say when it was all over? Huh? But where else would he be? Unless he went to Stone's Throw to recruit others. And skill speed is in the Gloam Choker. The merchant wished to approach the refugees in Stone's Throw, but was waiting until the flames withdrew their forces from the vicinity. Now that they have, there's nothing to stop him from continuing his work. How many more must perish in pursuit of his futile cause? How much more suffering must we endure before it ends? Find him, convince him to cease his mad quest. It will surely lead us to ruin. Have you seen my parents? They told me to stay here with the others. They said they'd be back soon, but it's been days. They left with a man from Ul'dah. The man said they were gonna change everything, make it so that we could live inside the walls with everyone else. I liked it when he said that. I didn't like it when he talked about making the rich people pay. Everyone looked so angry, and I got scared. Say, miss, are you looking for someone? You mean the man who left with my parents? But I don't know where he... Wait, look! Over there. I think that's him. Well now, which of these gullible fools shall be our next victim? You? He's getting away. Go get him, miss. You again? Why are you pursuing me? Sedition, treason, revolution? That's preposterous! Who has filled your head with these lies? Refugees? The self-same refugees who terrorized the streets of Ul'dah? Ha! You have no evidence to prove your accusations. None. No, I will not accompany you to the Hall of Flames. You have no right to detain me. For the sake of argument, let's say I did these things you claim. Surely you don't think I give a quarren's arse about politics. It was business. Only business. We both know I am not the one you want. However, if you agree to protect me, I swear I will tell you everything. Yeah, great protecting, okay. What's all this commotion? 7 hells. Tell the others to spread out and search the area. The killer may still be close. Oh boy. Desert City politics. Old adventurer. I would know more about your relationship with the victim, as well as the events leading up to his death. This man was responsible for the recent riots? Mayhap we owe his murderer a debt of gratitude. In any case, it's obvious you're not the one whom we seek. You may carry on with your investigation, Scion. Robot! All right. Well, we did get some information. Definitely someone pulling the strings. What news, Kiara? Where's the merchant? Murdered? Damn it all to the seventh hell. He was not simply murdered, Kiara. He was silenced. Yeah. Too many knew his face, and he was ready to divulge his secrets. Do not despair, though. We may be closer to identifying the true orchestrator of these riots than you realize. Skill speed. Oh. And they both do spell speed, but this one also does my healing stats. The Flame General left word that you were to proceed to the fragrant chamber as soon as you returned. I wish to discuss your recent discoveries, as well as the results of our own investigation. Master Alphanaut has already been informed and should be waiting for you outside. Pray, proceed to the Royal Promenade with all haste and speak with Bartholomew. There is still a serious delay, but it is manageable in that it's just a delay. We have been expecting you, madam. Please proceed inside.
Commander Swift has kept us apprised of your recent activities. You've made great strides towards quelling the violence.
Despite our best efforts to determine what provoked this uprising, truth continues to elude us. Have you uncovered aught which might shed some light on the mystery?
This information does not leave this room. The Syndicate's decision to reject the Doman refugees' appeal for asylum had lasting repercussions. A number of those displaced by the calamity claimed it was proof of a policy of discrimination. Together with a group of Alamegan refugees, they organized a series of demonstrations to protest against the Sultanate. Demonstrations which became heated, but did not descend into violence.
So, reasonable protests.
Until a certain incident served as a call to arms.
A unit of brass blades sent to supervise a demonstration loosed arrows upon unarmed protesters. It was this atrocity which prompted the refugees to take up arms. I need not tell you what followed.
We assumed at first that the attack was born of a miscommunication. When emotions run high, they happen. But suspicions were raised regarding the unit's commanding officer, whom I ordered interrogated. Sure enough, our fears were soon confirmed. The dog confessed that a merchant had offered him coin to give the order. A merchant in the employ of Teleji Adeleji.
Teleji Adeleji? But he spoke in favor of the Domin's cause, and has ever seemed sympathetic towards the refugees' plight. Why would he do such a thing?
Unless it was a long game.
Know you of the Cartano Reclamation Bill? It is a proposal to annex the Cartano Flats so that refugees may establish permanent settlements.
When last I looked, that was disputed territory.
Aye. Some might even call it a battlefield. The destruction wrought by Bahamut was greatest at the Cartano Flats. That much is common knowledge. What is less well known is that his rampage laid bare ancient Alagon ruins, of which no record existed. There are certain differences of opinion as to how these ruins should be handled, which is why each nation maintains a military presence in the region to this day. Yet differ though we may, we are still allies. Therefore, in the interest of preserving the Eorzean alliance, we have reached an agreement. Any conflict which may arise during the course of military exercises in the region shall have no bearing on relations between our nations. In full knowledge of this delicate state of affairs, Teleji Adeleji proposed the Cartano Reclamation Bill. A shameless bloody ruse which stands to benefit him in but one conceivable way. If successful, he will gain control over the disputed territory under the guise of assisting in the resettlement effort. And you can be sure he'll build an orphanage next to every Alagon ruin.
The man would threaten the unity of the Eorzean alliance and risk countless lives for personal gain.
He walks a path all his own, independent of any faction and beholden to none of his fellows on the Syndicate.
By inciting the less fortunate to violence, he hopes to convince others that the Cartano Reclamation Bill is the only viable solution. His sympathy for the plight of the Domins was not but posturing to gain credibility with the refugees. Of that there can be no doubt.
Forgive me, but what could possibly motivate Teleji Adeleji to go to such lengths? What is so special about these ruins that he would risk his position on the Syndicate, and, most likely, charges of treason against the Sultanate?
Omega.
Pardon?
An Alagon monstrosity, not unlike the Ultima weapon. Mayhap larger, we know not. It has yet to be fully excavated. Alagon inscriptions indicate that it was created to fell Bahamut himself. If accurate, it might explain why Nail Van Darnus chose to bring the Red Moon down upon the Cartano Flats. Given the ends he went to ensure Eorzea's annihilation, Destroying the one weapon which could stay the Elder Primal may well have seemed like good sense.
When first I bore witness to the power of the Ultima weapon, I doubted the evidence of my senses. And now you tell me there is another such weapon. One which could contend with Bahamut. Bahamut!
Aye, we were skeptical ourselves. Truth be told, until the Ultima weapon's existence came to light, we thought the inscription had been mistranslated.
At present, Omega is more akin to a fossil than a tool of war, having long since ceased to function. As such, its true potential cannot accurately be gauged. However, if someone were to restore it, as the Garleans did the Ultima weapon, I have little doubt that he would wield untold power.
And with that, he would probably try to follow in the now late Emperor's steps.
Power enough to subjugate Uldar like as not, and the rest of Eorzea besides, which is doubtless why Teleji Adeleji yearns to have it.
That he should aspire to world domination. He who has ever walked 2 paces behind Lord Lolorito in matters of commerce.
'Tis in acknowledgement of his own limitations that he seeks this power. Woe betide us all should we allow him to have it.
Pray waste no time chasing rats. Only a fool would believe that secrets can be kept in Uldar.
It would seem the implications of the Sultanate's refugee problem are rather more far-reaching than we assumed.
Oh boy. This problem indeed. Looks like we're going with the knocked wristlets. I should be glad to know the truth, and yet the thought of all this chaos was... the thought that all this chaos was the product of one man's lust for power sickens me. How long do you think they intend to hide the existence of Omega from the Scions? That they even felt the need to do so is most troubling. How long do you think they intended? It would be in our best interest to learn more of the military activities of the disputed territories. Fortunately, you are already well positioned to do so, Sergeant Frostborn. Pray, keep us informed of any developments in Cartanu. Begone, whelp. This is no place for children. I'm sorry. I was looking for you, miss. You said you were looking for the man who left with my parents. You know this girl? So he visited Stone's Throw as well. I see. Did you find the man? Were my parents with him? They were not, I'm afraid. However, I can think of several places they might be. If you like, we can go look for them together. Really? You'll help me look, mister? Of course. But first, I must needs finish speaking with my friend. She's telling me a secret, you see, so no one else is allowed to listen. Mayhap you could wait for me by that pillar over there. We require but a moment. Okay, mister. I'll be waiting. I'll take her to the quicksand. Mayhap Mamundi will know what to do. A legion of Garleans, an ether-starved primal. Even dealing with an Ascian would be preferable to this charade. Sometimes I fear Minfilia is too ambitious. We rush hither and yon in response to threats as they arise, without concern for the strain it places on our limited resources and ourselves. Mayhap the time has come for a change. Kiara, this has been Philia. I know this is sudden, but I must ask you to return to Revenant's Toll with all due haste. The situation in the Twelveswood has taken a turn for the worse. I will explain in detail once you arrive. The Twelveswood. Then the primal threat she spoke of before has been confirmed. I have received no reports of Ixali, which leaves the Sylphs? Go, Kiara. You know as well as I that the appearance of a primal takes precedence over all else. Oh, and when you arrive, do inform the antecedent that while I'm grateful for her concerns, she needn't fear for my safety. I am more than capable of protecting myself. Okay. It's a relief to see you healthy and hale, Kiara. The latest news from Ul'dah was most disturbing. Clearly, the only injury Elfnod suffered was to his ego. Doubtless it'll heal ere long. The other Scions will need to be present for this meeting. If you are ready to begin, I will summon them now. Thank you for responding to my call with such haste. Rest assured, I should not have summoned you. I should not have summoned you if were it not urgent. To business then. I have received some most troubling news from the Order of the Twin Adder. They have reason to believe that the Sylphs may have called forth their revered guardian, the Primal Ramu. I'm sorry, may have? Then it's not certain. The Elder Seats here informs us that the elementals themselves murmur of the Lord of Levin's return to the forest. The Sylphlands, however, display no signs of undue commotion. Forgive me, antecedent, but that fact need not contradict the elemental's testimony. Unlike his more bellicose compeers, Garuda and so on, Ramu is reputed to only act in the defense of his children. I imagine he would soon make his presence known if any were foolish enough to directly endanger the Sylphs or their territory. The abruptness of this development concerns me. Were we not keeping a close watch on the touched ones and their movements? If preparations for a summoning ritual were indeed underway, it would surely not have escaped your notice. Oh, it didn't. I was pretty sure it was going to happen, just not this soon. I beg your pardon? You foresaw this eventuality and did not to prevent it? I told Pablo, I suppose. Or I suppose I could have reported things to Minfilia earlier. But there honestly wasn't much we could do except wait and see. You know how the Sylphs feel about people poking around their territory. They already summoned Rom once, right after the calamity, but that was because the Garleans came trampling through the forest. And as long as Castium Orion stands, the Sylphs cannot be blamed for wishing to have their guardian deity on hand. In short, Ida and I are in agreement. The actions of the forest folk were inevitable and unavoidable. And I maintain that observation would have remained the best policy had it not been for the sudden influx of strangers into the Black Shroud. That, alas, we did not foresee. By all accounts, the recent violence in Old Daw drove a number of refugees to seek safety under the concealing canopy of the trees. 'Tis like that the Sylphs perceived this panicked migration as yet another invasion, and quickened their efforts to summon their god. I am put in mind of Titan and the kobolds. Once again, it is the affairs of men which have paved the way for a primal's coming. Indeed, one cannot help but wonder what manner of place Eorzea would be without the civilizing influence of mankind. Be that as it may, this regrettable development does afford us a unique opportunity. Kiara, through your dealings with the Sylphs and Little Solus, you once succeeded in preventing an untimely conflict with Gridania. I wonder, Would one who has treated with the sylphs so fruitfully in the past not achieve similar success with their patron deity? If our Moon can be convinced of our intentions, it may be the first step a fond hope. Were such a thing possible, we would not have been at war with the Beastmen since time immemorial. But maybe this time we can... Let us continue this discussion anon. We must needs first consult with the nation most affected by Merlum's presence. The Elder Seedseer has requested your personal involvement, Kiara. Pray report to Commander at the Adder's Nest as soon as you are able. Steel yourself for the worst. While I hope for a peaceful resolution to this matter, experience suggests that your meeting with the Lord of Leviathen will prove less than amicable. In such an event, your fellow scions will of course lend you whatever support you require. This is going to be another full party quest, isn't it? Sergeant Frostborn, your arrival has been most anticipated. The appearance of a primal is ever cause for alarm and unease. Though my men stand ready for any eventuality, I know none more qualified than you to snuff out this threat. Indeed, I would have you do so without delay. The Elder Seedseer, however, would speak to with you first. She is of the opinion that your diplomatic, rather than martial, skills may better serve our cause. I will leave further explanation to our learned leader. Pray make your way to the altar. Conjurer in attendance will admit you to the lotus stand. Okay. All of that information is good to know. And would be worried about later. For now, we go to talk to the Elder Seedseer. The other scions have already arrived, madam. May I show you in?
Scions of the Seventh Dawn, on behalf of the people of Gridania, I bid you welcome. Your presence is of great comfort to us all in these days of uncertainty. I summoned you here to share tidings of a most urgent nature. But a short while ago, the great elemental spoke, and his voice was clarion in its intensity. Ramu is returned unto the forest. Scarce had his words ceased to echo in mine ears when we were visited by an emissary from Little Solace. Our guest informs us that the Sylphs too have sensed the presence of the Lord of Levin. Though his exact whereabouts remain unknown, we may safely assume that the Primal was summoned within the heart of the Sylphlands. Unlike the other Primals you have encountered, Lord Ramu is no raging avatar of destruction. He is revered as much for his wisdom as his strength, serving as both arbiter and guardian to his children. Given that we and the Sylphs found a way to share the Twelveswood, it is my hope that this sagely immortal will be amenable to reason, and that conflict may be avoided. Blessed as you are with the power of the Echo, you are one of the few among us who may commune with a Primal without fear of influence. I would ask, therefore, that you represent us in this most delicate of negotiations. The Twelveswood has suffered enough. Upon this, we and the Sylphs, and I would venture Lord Ramu himself, are in perfect accord. Let us not endanger our shared home by engaging in unnecessary hostilities. Dear friend, I beseech you, safeguard the peace which exists between our peoples. You have my thanks. Pray make for Little Solace, then. A member of the Order of the Twin Adder awaits you there. He will advise you on how to find the Lord of Levin. An ill wind blows through the forest. Yet, it is not only the Twelveswood that flinches at its coming. All the lands of Eorzea shiver in dread anticipation.
Sylphlands. That is in the Eastern Shroud. And drop by and finish off that quest as well. First, go to the central shroud through that gate. Hop on the mount. There we go. Oh, I need come. At least I was hoping, Koopa. I now have an extreme difficulty one. I do still only have 4 mounts. Haven't been back to the Marauders Guild yet. I should do that. There's a quest we can not accept yet. Oh. Ah, okay, that's why. Sergeant Frostborn, I was told to expect you. I understand that you go to treat with the primal Ramu himself. An unenviable task, but one for which I have no doubt you are well suited. I have been told that your fellow Scions are conducting an investigation of the area as we speak, that we might ascertain the location where the Lord of Leviathen might be found. I would ask that you abide here until they return with their findings. A-star. And equip it real quick because that's obviously going to be better. Leviathen Impression. The name of this quest is a pun. Hello, viewer. Sorry, I had to stretch. I was told that a messenger would be sent as soon as your fellow scions finished their investigation. I do not imagine that it will be much longer. This one returns with good tidings. Wise ones have finished searching and have wisely identified the precise location where the touched ones are summoned Lord Rummum. Your timing is impeccable, my fluttery friend. Might you be so kind as to escort this good woman to her fellow scions? It would be this one's pleasure. Walking one, please come with this one. Okay, so you can go under there. I did not know. Wise ones have ventured deep in Sylphlands. These ones must proceed carefully and keep an eye out for touched ones. Why do that when you can just go above them? This one is most sorry, but this one can go no further. Draw close to Lord Ramu, and this one may turn mean and nasty like touched ones. And so this one must say farewell for now. Walking one will find wise ones not far from here. Go south, go in safely. The walking one. And I am a high enough level that they will ignore me. So it's actually you. I'm relieved. For a moment I thought we were dealing with another one of those confounded sylph tricksters. I swear, with them wreaking havoc with their skin-changing magics, it's a wonder I was able to finish taking my measurements. Yes, it was quite the ordeal. I should have seen the look on Yastola's face when one impersonating you suddenly showed up. That's quite enough, Paplomio. My apologies. It's not like me to ramble, so... At any rate, I was wondering, or as I was saying, I have finished measuring the etheric activities in the area, and am pleased to say I have reached an indisputable conclusion, to wit, that Ram was called in the vicinity of the Sylph's Aetheryte. Come, Kira, the Lord of Leviathen awaits.
Nora betrays thee, servant of hiding. Thou art the bringer of light, bane of Ifrit, Titan, Garuda, and Leviathan. I am Ramu, guardian of the children of the forest. Thou tramplest upon sacred soil, bringer of light. By what right doth man intrude in this sanctuary of the sylphs? Gridanians proffer peace? Their words are born of delusion, thine offer an insult. Thou speakest of harmony, yet carest naught for my children's desires. They did but wish to dwell beneath these boughs in solitude. Yet even that was too much to ask of man. Thus did they turn to me for succor. The sentence I pronounce upon thy kind is just. Redanian or Garlean, it matters not. The good intent of one excuseth not the misdeeds of the other. Thy conflicts have brought naught but anguish and misery unto the forest. All blame doth lie with the darkness that resideth in the breast of man. Whence sprung this calamitous seed? In the beginning no such duality existed. Were light and dark given form when man was born? It would explain much. Not least why strife and sorrow follow ever in thy wake. Thou canst not deny the urgings of thine own nature. Knowing that thy mere presence here portendeth tragedy, wilt thou persist in this pretense of peacemaking? Thou bearest the crystal which I bestowed upon thy wayward charges. But they should entrust so precious a gift to thee. Thou standest apart from thy kin. Thou art the bringer of light, aye. But there is something more in thee.
More than just the presiding thing.
I shall consider thy proposal, shouldst thou survive my trial. If thou wouldst champion the cause of harmony, I must have proof that thou art fit to play the role. Wither mine ire, and prove to me thereby that thou hast strength enough to stay the darkness which threateneth to consume thee. Yet if thou shouldst be found wanting, know that all men shall perish in the storm of my judgment. Come to me, bringer of light. I shall await thee on the field of battle.
Urianger, it is rare indeed to find you so far from a tome.
The Lord of Levin himself. Never till this day had I looked upon his visage, save in painted renderings made faint by time. Ever shall this scene remain etched in my mind's eye. Beg pardon, my lady. I must beg thine aid on a point of research. If thou art resolved to face Lord Ramu, I would ask thy leave to observe the event.
And I'm going to take this moment to take a quick bio break, so I will be dancing on the screen for a while. And I'll be right back. See you soon. And I'm back. I am sorry about that. My dog also wanted to take a bio break. He wanted outside. And, well, he's been a good boy. He's outside right now, and I am going to remove that. Join this. We'll see if this takes too long. Come on. In worst case scenario, I'll probably play some more Oblivion remake later today. And with that, it should allow me to... Oh, I didn't publish that. Okay, well, we are going to be waiting for a while, it seems. Average wait time says 5 minutes, but we know my luck. Okay, all that is situated. And we are waiting. No one joined. Hey, by the way, if you're actually playing right now, there's always the option to jump in and join in. Because why not, right? Honestly, if we reach the 3-hour mark, well, no one joins soon. I might just call it here. After all, after this amount of time, no one has joined at all. That, in and of itself, is a problem. And my dog is enjoying outside, so that's fine. Still no one joined. Well, tomorrow is Friday, and we will be playing more Final Fantasy XIV then. Yeah, we're not getting anyone. Okay. With that, we're going to go ahead and end it here. So, if you're watching this on YouTube, make sure to drop a like, comment, and subscribe down below. If you're here on Twitch, go ahead and drop me a follow. And be sure to tune in later for some Elder Scrolls Oblivion Remake. If you enjoy this content on YouTube, go ahead and check out this playlist where I'll put my Monster Hunter playlist here. And if my content isn't really for you, go ahead and check out this video that YouTube thinks you will like. But make sure to tune in, and, well, this was fun. We got through Leviathen. Took a few tries to figure it out. But stay close to the ether thing healers. And without further ado, have a good one, everyone. Bye.